This short video is going to be on how to fill in your artistic forms for the IPSF competition that the South African Pole Sports Federation is hosting in May. So if you are a pole or aerial hoop sports athlete, please go and have a look on social media for how to fill in the compulsory forms and how to fill in the tech bonus forms. But this is specifically for if you are doing artistic. Now, the first thing to note is that the top of the forms, this is artistic pole. If you are doing artistic hoop, there will be a hoop code at the top, or a hoop logo at the top of the form. One is pink and one is purple, but they very clearly say hoop and pole. Please fill in the correct form. We are going to have a look at the artistic pole form and how to fill it in, although the hoop form is exactly the same. This form is much more straightforward than the compulsory form. Performer's name, put your name down. My name is Alison Ballard. And so there goes my name. The date that you write on the form is the date of the submission of the form. It is not your birthday. It is not the competition day. It is not the day that you started filling out the form and then forgot to hand it in. It is the day that the form is submitted. So if I was a clever athlete performer, what I would do is make sure that I handed in my form the day before the deadline, which would be 30th of June, 2023, and that is the date I write down. You can write 30 March if you like. You can write 0330. It doesn't matter, but just make sure that you give me the day, the month, and the year of when you submitted your form to Amy. Okay. The country is the country you live in, which is South Africa. The region are one of our provinces. We don't want to know about the city you live in or the province or the suburb that you stay in. We only want to know which province you live in. So for my self, that would be Gauteng. Okay. The federation is the South African Pole Sports Federation. It is not the Pole Dance Federation, it's the Pole Sports Federation, SAPSF. Or you can write it out. That is also fine. South African Pole Sports Federation. Divisions for artistic are different to the divisions for sport. So you are either an amateur, a semi-professional, or a professional. The category is the category that you are competing in. So let's imagine that I'm doing semi-pro. No, let's do professional this time. We are doing professional. And my category would be masters. +1. Okay. So within the aerial manual at the back, you will find the categories that correspond. Just take them exactly as they are out of the manual and write them into your code as such. Okay. At the bottom of the code is the performer's signature. That's me. And then we have the coach's signature. So again, we have one aerial hoop coach in South Africa this year. That's Caitlin Wilson. If you train with her, she can sign your forms. Otherwise, it's Daniela Baker if you do pole with her. If you do not do pole or hoop with either of these two people, do not write coach's signature in this block. Okay, these are only IPSF recognized coaches that are allowed to sign. Please remember that if you wish to be an IPSF recognized coach, it is very easy. Contact the federation, contact the IPSF, and follow the steps to become a recognized coach so that you can help your athletes train and so that you can sign their forms for them. Okay. The only time that this changes is if the performer is a minor. If the person partaking in aerial hoop artistic or pole artistic is under the age of 18, under the age of 18, then the person who signs in the box, coach's box, is their parent or legal guardian. If this is a doubles, please remember we expect to see 2 names at the top, 2 names at the bottom. And if the doubles are underage, less than 18, unless they are siblings, we wish to see 2 parent signatures. Thank you. Okay. The theme is just a brief description of more or less what your theme is going to be on the day. Your story, your theme, what it's about, just so that we can have a little bit of insight into what it is that we're expecting from your routine. Okay. The props anything that is a prop needs to be listed on the form. Okay, so if you have a box, if you have a guitar, if you have a stool, anything that isn't human, you can put in this box. Please remember as well, once you've written something into this box on your competition day, don't change your props. Keep your props exactly as they were submitted to the South African Pole Sports Federation. Okay. Then we have human props. Now, very important to note, if we go to the mid-cycle update and we have a look for props, there are very specific instructions that are given on human props. How many human props you're allowed to have, how old your human props are allowed to be. And within the manual, there is also a time limit into the interaction that a human prop is allowed to have with the athlete. Interaction is not direct interaction. Interaction is actually any moving. So you can have an athlete, a prop on stage, a human prop on stage, and if they don't move for the entirety of the routine, or for more than 45 seconds of the routine, that is fine. But anything that is moving for 45 seconds or more is considered to be overtime and will get you a deduction. If you have, for example, a logo or a light or something remote controlled on the stage that is being managed by a human being off stage, they are also considered a human prop, and we need to know what they are doing and why they are doing it. Okay. So please go and have a look at the mid-cycle update, point number 12, on props and specifically human props. And if you are going to have human props in your routine, on what is and is not allowed. Also, please check your manual on what they may and may not do. For example, they may not lift you up onto the pole, anything like that. So please, 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 please check that. Good. That is not helpful. That's helpful. There we go. All right, so these are the things that are your normal props, and these are specifically your human props. If you are removing an item of clothing, please just let us know what it is and why. I will be wearing a jacket. I will be taking it off 45 seconds into the routine because I can't pull with the jacket on. I will be wearing a trench coat, and I will be taking it off in the last 30 seconds of the routine because I'm symbolizing that I am leaving my old life behind and moving on to the next one. Whatever it is that you need to be doing, removing an item of clothing, please explain to us why it is that you are doing it. Right. And then the other one is quite basic. Please let the competition organizer know whether or not you are going to have both poles on spinning, both poles on static, one pole on spinning, one pole on static, and which one it will be. So for pole artistic, you can do what you like. So just make sure that they have the configuration. Okay, this has to be filled in. You have to declare all your props to us. You have to declare what you are doing. If something doesn't apply, just write not applicable. Okay, so that we know that you have seen it, it just doesn't apply. Okay, the next and most important point is actually these points at the bottom. Everything that is down here at the boxes is not a serving suggestion. They are instructions that need to be followed. Okay, so if you tick this box, you are indicating that there is no nudity in the routine, that there are no simulations of weapons of any kind. Please check the mid-cycle update and the manual to find out what is determined as a weapon or simulation of a weapon, please. Okay, that there is nothing sexist, racist, or homophobic, that there is nothing violent or religious, and that it is suitable for family viewing. If you tick these boxes, you are indicating to us that you've even thought your routine and that you can tell us honestly and truly that there is nothing that we have to worry about. The boxes on the left are exactly the same. You have to tick the boxes and you have to submit the information required. You have to send a photo of your costume. Please do it in front and back so that we can see the front and back of your costume. But what happens if your costume isn't ready by the time that you have to fill in the form and send it in? Send us a detailed diagram of what it looks like. You have to send in photos of all your props. But what happens if one of my props hasn't come from Amazon yet because it's stuck in Cape Town at customs? Send us a photo from the internet to show us which prop it is that you have bought and will be using on the day. Okay, and your music. What happens if my music isn't cut yet? Well, that's a bit of a problem. Make sure that your music is cut and finalized by Friday, because you have to submit it with your form. This is a reminder of the things that you have to do. These 3 things: costume photo, prop photo, if applicable, and music photo, have to be ticked and they have to be sent in. Okay, obviously props don't have to be ticked if you don't have any props, but please also just indicate on your form that you have no props, so that we know at the bottom, it's not that you've forgotten, it's that you don't have any to send. All right, and that was how to fill in the artistic form for both aerial hoop and for pole sports. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Federation. And remember that there is always more to be learned by doing an IPSF code.